And now for a Next News special report.
In a moment that set the airwaves ablaze, Charles Payne on Fox News didn't just speak, he erupted. It wasn't just about politics, it was a raw, unfiltered cry echoing the sentiments of millions. When Biden paints MAGA supporters with a broad brush of racism and disdain, isn't he forgetting that they're Americans too? Americans who dream of a safe community, a flourishing country? Why is seeking a better America now a reason for scorn? This isn't just news, this is a revelation of a deep divide instigated from the highest office. You think you've heard it all, but trust me, this report holds more. So stay with me till the end for a final thought that's not just a commentary, it's a wake-up call for every American. Now, before we dive into today's explosive report, we do need to talk about reality. Think about our country like a house divided, chaos at every turn, Biden's administration like clowns reveling in this discord, neglecting solutions that could mend our nation overnight. But here's a truth as undeniable as our current turmoil. Preparation is key. Just as we need leaders to prepare our country, you need to prepare your family. Visit preparewithgary.com for a vital step. Get $60 off a 4-week emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply, America's largest preparedness company. These meals, packed in rugged containers, lasting 25 years. They provide over 2,000 calories a day. Secure your family's future with My Patriot Supply, and if you order by 3 p.m., you'll get free same-day shipping at preparewithgary.com, because when total chaos ensues, you will be ready. Now we're delving into a story that's more than just news. It's a deep dive into the heart of our nation's current turmoil. The scene is set. Charles Payne on Fox News, not just speaking, but exploding with a fury that mirrors the frustration of millions of Americans. This isn't a mere spat in the political arena. It's a symptom of a deeper ailment of our republic. And his eruption is a response to a pattern we've seen unfold from the highest office in the land. President Biden, in numerous instances, has not just disagreed with, but has openly demeaned MAGA supporters. So picture this, the leader of our nation, instead of bridging divides, he's only widening them. He's not just criticizing a political stance, he's belittling and demonizing a significant portion of the American populace. These aren't faceless enemies, these are our neighbors, our colleagues, and our family members. They are the Americans who dream of nothing more than a safe, prosperous country. And here we have Charles Payne echoing their sentiments, their frustration, their plea for recognition and respect. Now, before we dive deeper into the issue, let's witness Payne's raw, unfiltered expression of what many feel but seldom say. His words are more than a critique, they're a powerful narrative of a nation seeking its lost unity and respect. Watch.
You know, Charles, you talked about the issues here and how immigration here is at the top, but it also is an economic issue, and it crosses all boundaries. And it is a weakness for President Biden and the Democrats. Dean Phillips talks about this on the trail, and he talks about how Democrats demean MAGA voters. He talked about it with me today, saying that, you know, it's just strange that they're talking about a group of voters like that.
Yeah, and I don't think it's narcissism. I think if it's, you've lived in New York long enough, you know it's maybe a New York thing. Someone punches you, you punch him back harder. That's the way I grew up in Harlem.
Not if the country's at stake, right?
He won. He became president of the United States with that same personality. I don't think that, you know, listen, I think it's worse with Biden calling MAGA. Biden's anger and vitriol and hatred for MAGA is far more worse than President Trump's individual battles with someone who crosses him. That is something that is really detrimental to this country, that the president of the United States despises half of the United States. President Biden, I said earlier today, about a week ago, I had a segment coming up, so I Googled Biden hates MAGA. Nothing but articles after articles after articles. He has expressed hatred for half of the country. Who's writing those articles? It doesn't matter. Look
and it's
at
not.
him. Because the bottom line is he says it. He has vitriol for them. And so does MSNBC, and so does CNN, and so does the New York Times. They have vitriol for half of the nation. They don't look at them like fellow Americans, and it's unfortunate. They try to paint them as racist. All the things that they do to their fellow Americans who simply want a safe home, a safe community, for their children to have prosperity. They want the same thing, but they demean them all the time. That's why I think Phillips was so intriguing, because he went to a rally to find out for himself. And guess what? Golly, these are some pretty cool people. They're just like us.
Exactly what Jamie Dimon said this week as well. And it's smart to understand. And also you see the shift that's happening, right? You look at Black voters, Hispanic voters, college women, Latinos who have moved towards Trump.
Yes.
So it's no longer that people are in these boxes based on what their gender is or what they look like. They appear to want, a safe country, and they appear to want a good economy, regardless of what label they have.
That's completely fine, and I know that the lines have shifted dramatically, but Joe Biden's responsible for a lot of that. You say that he's demeaned half the country. First of all, it's 74 million people that voted for Donald Trump, and he is explicit every time he talks about the MAGA movement to say that this is a subsection of the Republican Party, which is borne out in elections when you see people voting against Donald Trump. And this idea that
but what about the people
way
voting
that Democrats,
for him? What about the people voting for him? He gives teleprompter speeches. I mean, you have to understand that
yes, but he is talking about insurrectionists.
No,
yes, he is.
No.
Why is he talking about January 6th? And he says
MAGA like it's a swear word, instead of a slogan.
If you get called regularly,
and
which Democrats do, thugs,
he's a commander-in-chief,
pedophiles.
Why can't he call the border a crisis while he's denigrating and castigating Americans? No, the voters are talking about that, Jessica.
But
excuse me, respectfully,
demeaning voters.
The president of the United States, the commander-in-chief, went to Philadelphia a year and a half ago with a Marine posted behind him.
I saw.
And gave a decidedly political speech where he insulted a large part of the country. And I've said many times on this network, and I'll say it again tonight, if people, a lot of people, spend a fraction of the time that they spend obsessing over Donald Trump, the person, learning one thing about the Trump voter, things may be very different. This is Joe Biden's version of Hillary's deplorable and irredeemable.
And here's one thing. We're going to be talking about this for many months. So we have to move on.
I'm excited.
Okay.
Now, reflecting on Payne's passionate outbursts, we see it's not just about the divisiveness of the current administration, it's about the essence of what our republic stands for. When the leader of a nation openly scorns a substantial segment of its citizens, labeling them as less than American, it's a dangerous path. It's a path that leads away from the principles of freedom, equality, and unity, the very principles upon which our nation was founded. This isn't just about Biden versus Trump or Democrats versus Republicans. It's about the fundamental respect and acknowledgement of every American's voice and concerns. Biden's approach, marked by disdain and division, raises an essential question. Is this the leadership that can guide our republic through its current challenges? So consider the upcoming 2024 elections. The narrative being shaped today will play a significant role in the decisions of tomorrow. With the Biden administration's current stance, many are looking towards Trump as the unifier, a contrast to the divisive rhetoric that we're witnessing. So this may seem paradoxical to some, considering Trump's own history of controversial statements, but therein lies the crux. Trump's approach, often seen as direct and confrontational, was about specific issues, a reactionary type of leadership, whereas Biden's approach seems more systemic, a continuous narrative of alienation. The real issue here transcends political affiliations. It's about the core values of our nation. Our republic is at a critical juncture. The way we respond, the leaders we choose, will determine the future course of our nation's unity and integrity. As Payne pointed out, MAGA supporters are not an anonymous mass. They're individuals with dreams, aspirations, and a love for their country. They seek safety, prosperity, and a thriving community, desires common to all Americans. Yet they find themselves demeaned and dismissed. This isn't leadership. It's a failure to recognize and respect the diverse tapestry of thoughts and opinions that strengthen our nation. Amidst this, the ongoing border crisis and national security concerns continue to be pressing issues, yet the administration's focus seems diverted, lost in the whirlwind of political one-upsmanship and divisiveness. America needs a leader who can prioritize these fundamental needs, one who can rise above petty politics and see the larger picture, the picture of a united and strong America. Charles Payne's outburst on Fox News isn't just a fleeting moment of television drama. It's a stark reminder of the challenges we face as a nation. It's a call to action for all Americans to seek unity, to respect diverse viewpoints, and to demand leadership that embodies the true spirit of our great republic. If you found value in this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. In closing this, let's reflect on why this story isn't just another headline, but a critical commentary on the state of our republic. The stark contrast between the leadership styles of Trump and Biden couldn't be more evident. Trump, with his directness and confrontational approach, represented a leader unafraid to tackle issues head-on, often misunderstood, but always focused on American prosperity and security. Under Trump, there was a sense of direction, a clarity of purpose, even among disagreements. In stark contrast, Biden's leadership's been marked by a divisive rhetoric that alienates and demeans a significant portion of our citizenry. This isn't just about policy disagreements, it's about the fundamental respect for every American. The role of the president is to unify, to rise above partisanship, to embrace all segments of society, a role that Biden unfortunately seems to have forgotten. As we move forward, let's choose leaders who embody the true spirit of our republic: unity, respect, and a steadfast commitment to the prosperity of all Americans. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.